Hi, welcome to Real Estate Today. I am Elliot Koolik, and today is such an exciting show. We are with world-renowned interior designer Perla Lici of Perla Lici Design. She is not only an advice columnist, she has 2 books, one of which is really more fascinating. We are in the house that she is using on the cover of her new book, which is called You Too Deserve Beautiful Rooms. And she has a very unique take on interior design. She ties it into numerology and astrology and her passion for the business. So I'm really excited about the show, and I can't wait for all of you to meet her. So welcome to Real Estate Today. Welcome back to Real Estate Today. I am sitting in the most fabulous house. It's a 6,000 square foot estate home in Harbor Beach in Fort Lauderdale, right on the water. And we are fortunate today to have an interior designer that kind of transcends just the typical designer. So Perla, thank you so much for being on the show.
My pleasure.
You know, I'm sitting in the house, and I've been in, obviously I'm in the real estate business, and I've been in a lot of custom homes. But just from talking to you, even before we got on camera, it seems like it's more than just designing the house. So can you kind of comment on your philosophy?
Yes, it's a combination of course, designing the house and knowing who the person is that's going to live in the house. I think that's the most important thing. Because once you know who's going to live in the house, you're able to capture their needs, their essence, what it is that their lifestyle is, and put it together in the design.
A lot of times when I'm working with a customer, once I get to know them a little bit, and maybe I know where they're from or where their kids go to college, or what they've done as a profession, I kind of get a feeling of what I believe is ultimately going to make sense. And clearly you have to go down the path of educating them, and at least when I'm showing, I have to show them a bunch of things. But a lot of times I already know what they're going to buy way before they do. So I would imagine it's the same in your industry as well.
I kind of have the same thing in a way, because once I listen and I see what their needs are, their lifestyle, what it is that they're looking for, I at least know the direction to go. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of different directions, styles out there, but you have to listen and see what it is that the client wants. And once I know the direction, I just take it from there, and it just flows.
I know that you have an interior design column in one of the local papers, and also you have your own book. I think it's your 2nd edition coming out, You Too Deserve Beautiful Homes. And I know there's a whole big part of that that talks about your philosophy in the business and about numerology. Can you kind of comment on, how that all came together?
Sure. The book is a combination of many different things. We have a section on the numerology, on how it helps me in giving the people what it is that they really want. Even though a lot of people don't believe in it, that's okay. It is out there, and I do use it unconsciously, okay? We also have a chapter on how to design investment for power of investment when you're buying a house, where to put the money, where you're going to see the most bang for it. In the book, we also did a section on sports figures, where we did a few homes for different professional ball players. Not that I know the difference between football and baseball, but I am here to them to show them what they can do in their homes, and different chapters. That's what the book is about.
Perla, when someone hires an interior designer, I think it's critical, and even a realtor, they really want to connect with that person. And I know that when they're hiring you, they're putting their faith in you to create not only the right investment for them to make sure that the house, down the road they can sell, but how do you connect with your clients to create that feeling that everybody wants, in a beautifully furnished?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. It's very important to connect. That's the first thing you got to do, is relate to their needs and what it is that they're looking for. Because remember, the interior designer is there to make the client's dream come true. In other words, take their home and make it happen for them. I'm going to help them pull it together, but ultimately it's going to be their taste and their style. I'm just there to pull it together professionally for them.
Right. And sometimes it's almost like falling in love. Sometimes you can't really put your finger why you connect. And just from meeting you, and I've seen all of your advertisements all over the place in the magazines, you have a certain, I don't know what it is, but I can't put my finger on it, but I can see why you're so successful, because when you meet someone and you kind of connect, You just know.
Yes, no, I understand what you're saying, and I'm a professional in all of that, definitely, but I'm also a person that wants to feel the person. To me, that's very important. I think that is key. If you cannot connect with your designer, already you're going the wrong way. Once you feel there's a connection and there's an understanding between what it is, what I'm going to do for them, and how I'm going to work with them, that's important.
Okay, well, that's great. And I think, what we should do is, I think everyone at home would love to see how Perla was able to take this house, which happens to be an investment property, and really transform it to make potential buyers understand how the house could flow and how the positioning of furniture was so critical in making it make sense. So we'll see you back in the next segment. Welcome back to Real Estate Today. I'm Elliot Koolik, and we're back with Perla Lici of Perla Lici Design, and this is the part of the show when we really get to see stuff. And I think what this segment really will show everybody is that how critical it is to use an interior designer. We're in a spec house right now that Perla was involved in, and what's interesting is, had Perla been involved in the designing of the home as well as decorating, I think maybe things would have done a little bit different. So
yeah, they probably would have been different, but however, there's never a problem, okay?
Right, of course.
There's always a solution. For instance, in this case, when you first walked into the house, you're in this beautiful foyer. However, because of the fact that there's a step, before it was furnished, before it was actually merchandised, people didn't know where to go, okay? Like people would go this way, they would trip over the step, they would go this way, trip over the step. There's very, very basic solutions that designers can come up with, such as, why not put a beautiful console on one side, as you see here, and a beautiful bench on the other side. So now you have a sense of entry. You still have an open space where you can see through the dining room, through the other side, gorgeous view in front of you, and it leads you right in. And you're not, going to fall off, or you know where to go now.
Well, I think that if you had gotten involved with I think the point I was trying to bring out was, if you had gotten involved with the builder from day one, you maybe would have created something, maybe inexpensively, to create the ability to walk through the space, and it had to make sense. So how do you usually help people visualize how the house should lay out?
Okay, because the best way to do it is furnish it. Right. Because one thing is walking into an empty shell where you see this big space, especially when you're dealing with high volume ceilings, oversized windows, oversized fireplaces. It's very hard for a regular person to visualize that, because you're losing your sense of scale and proportion. Right. You're putting in the right furniture, the right proportion, and of course the right style and color scheme. You gotta have that, okay? Okay, right. Once you do that, it's gonna be a lot easier to relate to the space and feel yourself living in the space.
Hi, we're now in the living room,